kidThunder VG Reviews, where we bring you some of the best of retro gaming journalism.
Released in 1993 and developed by Konami, we're going to take a look at Rocket Knight Adventures on the Sega Genesis. The lead director of this game, Nobuyuki Nakazato, was responsible for some of the Contra titles, including the Alien Wars for the Super NES, Hardcore for the Genesis, and Shattered Soldier for the PlayStation 2. So seeing some Contra references in this game is probably noteworthy. References of Gradius, another Konami franchise, is also shown in this game. According to the plot, you are Sparkster, an anthropomorphic opossum, taking on an army of robots and pigs throughout the game. You are definitely armed with a sword and rocket pack to kick some serious ass. Throughout the game, you'll notice that the Elhorn Kingdom is under attack and controlled by the Devatinos Empire, led by Devilgus, which Sparkster will confront later in the game. Princess Sherry is also kidnapped in one scene of the game, and she must be saved. Axel Gear, another Rocket Knight, has become corrupt and also takes part in becoming one of Sparkster's foes. Aiding the Devatinos Empire. It's all up to you to save Elhorn. This is definitely a side-scroller action game with platforming and flying stages. Throughout this game, you are armed with a sword and a rocket pack, as mentioned while talking about the plot. In some stages, you can collect gems. If you collect about 50 of them, you are awarded an extra life. There are also a few difficulty settings in the game, while the easiest setting here is listed as children. Depending on what region you live in, the settings will vary. Now, I will go on record and say this. Try playing this game on the hardest setting with 1 life and no continues. If you beat it on that mode, you must be a grandmaster playing it through, and you deserve a medal. As for me, I'll never beat that mode of the game for the life of me. One of the coolest features is that you can charge up your attacks by either standing still or blasting off with a rocket attack in 8 different directions. You can't get any better than this. Boss battles are also some of the best highlights of the game, especially on the 5th stage when you and Axel Gear are fighting in giant pig robots. Audio-visually, everything here screams superb. I love the attention to detail here, and each stage is wonderfully designed. Playing it today, this is a game that has aged extremely well throughout the years ever since its release back in '93. The character animations are well done. While the Super NES may have been a graphical powerhouse for the day, this game definitely shows how graphically capable a Genesis game can be. The soundtrack, on the other hand, have tons of tunes that are definitely memorable. My favorite one would be from Stage 7. I, being a chiptune musician, should consider remixing that track and playing it in the nightclubs or at a local arcade bar. It's time to talk about the Gradius and Contra references here in this game. Rocket Knight Adventures overall is definitely a game you need to own in your Genesis collection. Everything here is definitely one of a kind, and you will not be disappointed with it whatsoever. There also exist two sequels, Sparkster, which was released for the Genesis and Super Nintendo. You would think these two games share the exact same title, but nope, these are completely different games. I will review them, but I do not own either one of these in my collection. I discovered them via emulation years ago. I remember disliking the Genesis one and praising the SNES version. Konami, I know you're listening, and I'm pretty sure you have redeemed yourselves a bit as of recent history with the release of Super Bomberman R for the Nintendo Switch. But Rocket Knight Adventures definitely needs a reboot/remake for modern consoles. Sure, there's Rocket Knight on Steam, Xbox Live, and PlayStation Network, which I think is not the best entry in the series. But this series as a whole has definitely flown under the radar. I may review Rocket Knight sometime in the future. However, Rocket Knight Adventures for the Sega Genesis is definitely a huge thumbs up. As of now, this is kidThunder signing off. Take care and stay tuned for future content.